Straight to the press review with Dipti. 1 year since Donald Trump's government dismantled USAID, the agency responsible, of course, for humanitarian aid. Decision that has had a huge impact on countries who relied on it, Dipti.
Yeah, that's right. So it's socially and economically as well. The Belgian paper Le Soir today outlining some of the figures of the impact of the dismantling of USAID. Notably, you have here 265,000 adults and 551,000 children have died as a result of the agency dismantling. That's according to results from Boston University. The British medical journal, The Lancet, predicts that if it continues, if all USAID programs are dismantled by 2030, that number of deaths could rise to over 14 million in the countries impacted, including 4.5 million children. It's why Le Soir, in its editorial today, condemns this, quote, selfish strategy and warns that it could also backfire. It says since access to treatments like treatments for diseases like tuberculosis and HIV have been curtailed, well, this could lead to a global resurgence in the diseases, which could then, of course, impact countries in the West as well.
Dipti's found an article that looks at the impact in South Africa, one of the countries which really relied on USAID.
Yeah, that's right. South Africa bears the largest burden of HIV in the world. In 2022, 8.5 million people in the country were HIV positive. And this website, Devex Today, really takes a look at the impact, particularly on local organizations who used USAID money to develop prevention strategies. In particular, one clinic called OUT, an LGBTQ clinic specializing in prevention strategies for men, gay men. OUT had to cut 93% of its workforce after USAID closed. It's now in the process of having to rebuild, refinance, but also reassure a clientele who came to them, often a stigmatized part of the community, and who relied on them for safe sex education.
Let's move to something different. The Guardian warning that Europe will have to confront a possibility of 3-degree rises in global temperatures in the years to come.
Yeah, that's right. The EU's Climate Advisory Board is urging countries to prepare for a catastrophic 2.8 to 3.3 degrees Celsius increase in global temperatures by the end of the century. A member of the board saying that leaders' efforts in Europe so far have been ineffective and ill-prepared. Climate scientists themselves have been surprised by how extreme weather in Europe has been and continues to be. Deadly rains, but also forest fires, as we've seen across Spain, Germany, Portugal and France as well.
Winter Olympics. The press is still talking about the cheating scandal that's been engulfing curling.
Yes, it's a scandal that just keeps on giving, Stuart. There's no love lost between Canada and Sweden in these Winter Games. Now, if you haven't been following the curling gossip, last Friday, Sweden accused the Canadian men's team of double touching the curling stone, which is a big no-no in the sport. This led to a hot mic F-bomb on the ice, an angry denial by Canada. Then the drama escalated when the Canadian women's team were also accused of double touching in their match against the Swiss. Then Team GB's men's team were also accused of double touching in their game. They will play Canada today in what will perhaps be a very, very closely watched event. In any case, it's certainly playing out in the Swedish and Canadian press. Now, this article is from the Curling News, which I guarantee does exist. It was written by Michael Fournier. Now, he's a former Canadian curler. And in this article, he says that Oscar Eriksson, who's a Swede who accused Canada of cheating, that he says that doing that on the ice during the games was unethical. Well, in response, the Swedish paper Sportbladet here is on the front page reacting to that opinion piece in the Curling News, reminding readers that Oscar Eriksson, the Swede, had also accused Michael Fournier, the Canadian, of cheating 10 years ago. In any case, the Canadian paper here, Le Devoir, says, in any case, it's the stupidest way to cheat in curling, and particularly in such a public way. It quotes someone on Radio Canada as saying that it's probably down to bad habit rather than actual cheating. Anyway, the internet is having a riot with it. Check out some of the memes here, Stuart. You have this one, E.T., Canada's flag.
Some nice
and maybe Canada was also to blame for Ilya Malinin's fall last week. Who knows?
We've got some more good images for you now. This is the Sony World Photography Awards.
Yeah, that's right. The winners of the open competition have been announced. And here are some of the pictures here. This is from the category of, I think this one's a landscape category. This is from the Namibian desert, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. You have this one here as well, a beautiful picture from Japan. And finally, this one here from a barefoot volcanologist.
Wow, very impressive images from that photography competition. Thank you very much, Dipti, with the